Hey everyone, Sean here, and welcome to Office Hours. Happy Valentine's Day. And let's just get right into it. Yeah, you notice by my sweater here, I am in back in Toronto, a little bit chillier here, but it's actually in the high 40s today. It's practically summer up here already. I can't believe it, but a little bit different. Yesterday, I was down in the beach in Miami and rollerblading around in like beautiful, you have the waves or whatever. And you come back here and you're kind of like, stupid Canada. But anyways, it's fine. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I wish it was 40 degrees Celsius in Canada. No, that's still too hot. But I have this question sheet here. There's 30 here. Why don't I commit to answering this? I'll go as long as I can. It is Valentine's Day. I'm sure some of you out there might have plans with your significant others. I know I do. But, I do have some time here. Okay. What are the tips to finding other affiliate marketers' websites for the offers that I'm interested in? I tried using different keywords. We covered this on the weekend, I think, Charlene. So I just want to make sure, first of all, I just like to make sure everybody checks out that webinar from Saturday. I don't like to tout my own horn on that, but the feedback was spectacular. We had a ton of people on, walking people from start to finish. But I wouldn't really spend more than a few minutes. Sometimes you're going to be in a niche that has lots of affiliates. Sometimes you're going to be in a niche that doesn't have a lot of them. You also got to remember, sometimes people only run traffic to their phone. So if you're looking on your computer, that could be a bit of a challenge. But really what we're looking for is like, does the niche feel easy? And does it feel like, I'm an advertiser, I'm an affiliate, and I have questions, general feedback, maybe you could write into here, figure out a way to contact them otherwise, maybe. And so you have your page, right? Insert shape. Okay, so this is your page. Okay. The offer. Okay. And the offer, and then we'll say this is your page. Okay. So pre-pop will allow you name and email will already be pre-populated from submitting it over here. Okay, so when they submit it here, it gets pre-populated here. So all the user necessarily has to do on the next page is hit the submit button. Yes, that's an easier step. Okay, but I've tested it in the past many, many times. And it's not the panacea that everybody thinks it is. It might boost your conversions by a couple points, but it's the common sense ones, online dating sites, it's a little dicey to run that stuff on Google and Microsoft, anything that's sort of taboo is usually a bit dicey. So try and stay away from stuff like that. I understand how to set up a privacy policy terms on my landing page, but I still don't know how to set up a contact. We do talk about that in the training. There's no need for a contact us page. You just have to go and write mail to your email.com. Okay. And that will pop up a window client on somebody's phone or on somebody's desktop. And that's all you need to do. Okay. That's it. You don't need an actual page for it. What has your experience with forms that ask for phone numbers? Personally, if I see one that's mandatory, I tend not to fill it out. It'll drop your conversion rate by about 5 points personally. So I, way beyond the scope of this program, but as you get going on, you might find buyers that are willing to pay you X amount per lead if you have name, email, phone number. So you will lose about 5 to 8% on your opt-in rate. So if you're getting 40% opt-in with name and email, you'll get like 32 to 35 by also asking for the phone number. So the money for the drop in conversion rate has to be worth the extra money you get paid. Oftentimes it's not. So it's not like 100%. It could just be your VPNs haywire or whatever, but Max Bounty has exactly this many offers. Put my 3 down, the 0 that are not functional. They are like the most reputable network in the industry. So I wouldn't worry about what Max Bounty. And that'll give you an idea of what the offer looks like, right? So if I click on Survey Junkie for here, I can preview the sample. That sample is 99 times out of 100 going to work, okay? Don't worry if you go to the tracking link, you have your VPN on, for some reason it's not working. It's definitely working, okay? It's a good place to use marketing, to practice using marketing budget wisely for a campaign that has daily cap. I'd like to know if there's an effective way to stop running ads when a campaign reach the daily cap so the marketing budget is widely used. Well, if they say you have 100 actions per day, I'm going to pay you $6 a lead for double opt-in here. That means you can maximally spent, maximally, is that a word? Anyways, your maximum spend is $600. So that's how I would do the math there. So you had 20 leads a day and they pay you $5 a lead. Now my max budget's $100. So I wouldn't have a budget higher than that. That's what I would do. Okay. I ran a test email to make sure my opt-in page worked. The email came through. But I would open up a ticket, send a Lumen, and the support staff could help you on that one. You can always change the thank you page. As we're doing the training regarding Microsoft ads, Sean said that we had a Microsoft ad account suspension. He had a way around that. So please explain what I need to do. Yep. Profitmembers.com. We shall go to module 3 and we will look at video number 20. Okay, module 3, video number 20. That will solve your problems. As give me your URL. How do you plan to run this campaign? I'm going to run search ads to this URL. Okay. So don't get scared of the questions, but that's how you would do that one. Okay. Since you've had simple, right? You have headline, subheadline, form, okay, above, below the fold contents, maybe an image and a footer. I don't know if I forgot anything. And really, headline, subheadline. Fast without having to like move elements around and this and that, and it just always works better. But that's something you can get down the road, because a dev guy is going to cost you a couple grand a month, and you don't need to spend that kind of money, you know. Just for people who can't open a Google Ads or account or Microsoft Ads account, before I even continue to read that, I would just submit to you that I still think it's absolutely impossible that you can't get a Google and a Microsoft account. Have you watched, you got to rewatch this video, you know, and talk to a friend, talk to a family member, get a new business, appeal. There's so many ways. If you really badly want it, you will get one. I can guarantee it. Okay. Guarantee it. There is really no other search ad platforms. Yahoo, Bing, and AOL, and I think even Yandex are on the exact same ad platform. Bing is a combination. You know, there's definitely a way to get accounts. If you really want one, you'll go get one. I guarantee you have friends that have Microsoft ad accounts lying around they're not using, right? Every one of you watching this. So it does exist. You might be like afraid to ask your friend, but that's a mindset issue then at that point. That's not an actual issue. You got to overcome that hurdle, right? So that's what I would suggest. Okay. Reaching out to Microsoft consistently while you're working in the background, talking to family, talking to friends, maybe setting up a new LLC. There are definitely ways in module 3 video 20 that you got to really go through it. Okay. And you got to like be resourceful on that if you really want to make this business work. This question, guys get it. If you open up your email and you see an email from Sean Agnew, the only way to see what email I'm actually emailing from is by like clicking into the data, and like nobody does that. They're just going to see Sean Agnew. Okay. So don't worry about what your sending domain is. It just has to be a sending domain. So that's that. What do we do for our homepage if we're using a custom domain and promoting various CPA offers? It doesn't really matter. Any homepage will work. Pick one of your CPA offers and make it your homepage. Okay. Do you think it would be a red flag if your current business is a dental practice, but you're running ads for free Tide samples? No, I don't see why that would be a problem. Should I wait to start a new company, or should I pick acting as an ad agency instead of running ads for myself? You're not an ad agency. You're always running ads for yourself. Even if you're running ads for other offers, you're still running them yourself. Okay. And this is, you just submitted them right there. Open up a ticket, Sean office hours, and a question for Sean kind of thing. I have a suggestion that may benefit 123 Profit members. My biggest concern is creating winning funnels. Why not create a contest for the best student creative funnels? We would all benefit from this. Would be wonderful. I think we do have a contest around, we did one around websites and things like that. If we gave an award to the best winning funnel, you know, here's my concern. I'm just gonna throw it out to you guys. Post in the chat what you think my concern would be if I shared somebody's best funnel. What do I think people would do? if we just shared that. Copycats, copy. There you go. Steal it. Yes. You guys know you're smart, right? So it would be a wonderful contest for somebody to win. And then somebody would have this amazing funnel. They spend all this time. It's also necessary, right? Like if you went to my Saturday webinar, you know, honest to God, hand to God, okay? This is extremely similar. This exact like gray. I think I might have had a box around this, but like nine to five when you're awake to look at it at that small of a budget. That's a great idea. Do we need to have a support email for every domain we have to run offers to? For example, well, I need a domain and customer service email for insurance offers. No, again, if you're running everything on one like very generic domain, like for example, mine was on the weekend, I think responsive marketplace.com, right? Then what you have down here is going to be, it's going to be all very generic. So this navigation bar should be on every page, regardless of the niche. Okay. Now, if you're starting to test out different niches and you're doing well in a couple and you want to say, okay, I want to move away from a generic page because I want to get more niche specific. And I have a page for like BizOp and I have another page for like credit scores, then sure. Yeah. At that point you would have an email. Show that you are, you get brownie points for like getting out there and going, and not overthinking it. I'm pretty sure we were placed in a shared IP pool with that wrong. Also necessary to create a form, or do we have the option of API and 10 full funnels? These are very advanced questions. So let me break it down for you and let you guys get an understanding of where this individual is going with. So you get into the inbox and not in the spam folder. One, it's the IP reputation of SendPad itself. It is the sending domain that you're using. It's the content that you have. It's the engagement that you get between you and your users. Okay. And certainly there's more that goes into that, but like those four things are like crucial to your business. Okay. So what is being referred to is like we're going into a shared IP pool, a practice that is pretty standard in autoresponders. And I don't know all the technicalities behind how SendPad is doing it, but yeah, there's IPs in the back end, right? And there will be like there'll be like really good, average, and bad IPs. And if you're a bad actor, and you're sending out a lot of spam and you're trying to email 6 times a day or whatever, then you're going to go and be moved from the excellent pool down to the bad one, right? And that's just to protect all user base, because if we have a handful of people doing bad things, it can affect everybody else, right? So that is just standard practice. Google Postmaster tools, what they're referring to is it's a tool that allows you to see what your spam and complaint rates and things like that are. But because you're using SendPad, you yourself will never have access to see that. We have access to see that at the aggregate level, but you won't have access to see that. So unfortunately, that's just how it works. And right now, there are no APIs with SendPad and FlowFunnel. Those are being built, and they're probably a few months out. So these are wonderful questions. So to answer them, SendPad is operating standard practice when it comes to IP pools and things like that. And as long as you're following policy and procedure, you're going to be fine. You're going to inbox very well. The IPs are strong. The reputation of SendPad is very good. So, everything's good there, and APIs will be built in a few months. Okay. Great question. I love those technical. It does not ask me for an address. Will this adversely affect me on Microsoft and Google? Likely not. But we've talked about this in the past, that it is best practice to manually go in and add the address anyways. So you could do that. I'm going to save Jacqueline's question for the end here. Module 4, video 1. Okay, so I would log into my support email address, which is separate from SendPad, and I would respond to the individual there. Or if you had like a free Gmail address or something you set up here, you would go to your Gmail and you would respond to them there. SendPad is not for engaging with customers. It's just for sending out emails, automated emails or broadcasts to people on your list. When they reply to you, you engage with them over in your other email client, whether that's through Float Hosting or GoDaddy or Gmail or whoever you're using. Okay. And again, if I could ask if you guys can try not to ask questions as long, because it does kind of like, take up a lot of real estate and take a lot of time to answer. So, this one's like Martin here is like short. Into the same ad group. Whether your bidding strategy is enhanced CPC or target CPA is irrelevant in that scenario. Okay. Second part of the above question, assuming that we found a good search term to add as keyword, how do we keep long today? We do have a webinar tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day, and that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, Robert, sorry you had some family issues there. No worries, man. The replay is in the back office there. No need to apologize. These things happen. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was very happy. The turnout was unbelievable. So thank you, because it was as you guys were on the webinar, it was a sunny day in Miami, and I'm staring out the window into the sun, and it's like, I love you guys, but like, the beach is looking awfully nice right now. So it was really cool to have like a super full and engaging webinar, so that kept me motivated, and it was a really good webinar. I really enjoyed it. So thanks everyone for showing up on Saturday. Similar to the shared IP question, do you believe it may be beneficial to add a dedicated IP while getting the service from email hosting, from float hosting? Not initially, because dedicated IPs are, these are great questions, okay? It's a bit of a double-edged sword from the sense of, yeah, IPs are part of the conversation. And certainly if if all of SendPad's IP pools are bad, then you're being impacted by bad actors and you're never going to be able to inbox. Right now, though, you can build that up over time. There is some benefits to it. It's just really challenging. And also nowadays, inboxing it's about IPs, but it's more and more about your domain and your domain's able to go into float hosting. Right. And you click on the hosting that you just set up for your mail. Like here's the one I set up for SendPad Sean, for example, in the videos, not on the domain, sorry. If you literally click on the 3 dots over here and you go to view details, there should be a link to, okay, email accounts. See, there you go. And it opens it up and then click the check email button. And now it logs me into my webmail, right? Boom, there's all my test emails that I was sending myself the other day. I'm not even here, log into webmail too. That one works even better. It's a faster one, okay? And then you would log in there, okay? May you please explain the dynamic keyword insertion? Not sure if I comprehend this concept. I will, but what I would also point back to you guys is, maybe watch the training a couple times, slow it down, take the notes, because it is there, but I am definitely happy to throw this out on the webinar. The concept would be is your keyword might be, free money, okay? At the phrase level. Free money could be triggered by an array of search terms, right? And actually, let me just back up a little bit. Your ad group actually will have a bunch. Let's say it's around, how to get money ad group, okay? That's your ad group. And inside of the ad group, you have a bunch of keywords like free money, how to get money, I want money, okay? I want money, and so on, all right? You guys get the point. In your ad now, in your headline, you want to make sure that the keyword is in the headline, right? So if you had like 30 keywords, but you only have 15 headlines, it's hard to put all 30 keywords in a headline. So that's what the dynamic search insertion does, is it will pick the keyword that's getting triggered. So if I had an ad that said 2023 best keyword, then, and somebody's going to Google or Microsoft, I should say, and they're typing in free money, then Microsoft is going to show the ad and they're going to show the headline as 2023 best free money. Okay. Now, if it was too long, you need to have after the colon what the default would be. So if I had a keyword that was like, I need money now or I'm going to die, something like that, right? That's going to be too long to fit in the headline. So So it shows your website name. That is coming any day now. I have a follow-up with the team on this on tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember, but it's soon. Like I said, though, on office hours and webinars, guys, when somebody signs up and they go back and they see an email from registration, 90% of people are going to click on it and stay confirmed. So don't let's focus. We talked about this yesterday. I don't want to go on a whole like thing about it, but like there's like revenue generating activities, and then there's stuff like this, which yes, there. Thank you so much for pointing it out, and we will fix that. But it's not going to like move the needle. So like don't have it. I just don't want you to have it in your mind as like the business isn't working or something because the opt-in email says registration and doesn't say my from name. It does need to be fixed for sure, but it's not really going to impact your business. So don't worry about it too much. Okay. When I generate a privacy policy as a business owner, do I use my registered agent address, or do I need to purchase a PO box? You can just use the address your corporation LLC gave you. Totally fine. Do you have a time frame for when mobile display issues will be fixed? It should be pretty good now. For example, like if I go to, and I have another demo tomorrow, I guess they're releasing another patch. Just like an approximation. So I think honestly, I would be comfortable running. I'm already running mobile ads to the page I did Saturday. So, we'll see. And so far it's actually doing okay. We'll run ads to the mobile version, even though it isn't like perfect. It's like 90% and it's still good. All right. Is there any problem with having links to other websites I own on the website? Not at all. Not at all. You certainly can. If you have like the headline like 6 times on your page, it kind of literally Microsoft has a policy that says if your page looks spammy, whatever that means, that they might put your account into review kind of thing. So just have that concept in the back of your mind. You want your page to be easy for the consumer to use, relevant to the consumer, have the prerequisite privacy policy, legal pages kind of thing. Just try to keep simple, clean, easy, relevant, legal pages. Try to keep all that in the back of your mind and you'll be fine. Okay. What revenue generating activity would you suggest as we are working to get our account suspension back? I would continuously work, eat, sleep, and breathe, getting it back, talking to a friend, talking to a family, maybe opening up a new LLC, those things that were discussed. I would also then double down on like Facebook methods, free Facebook group methods. And I would focus on like getting my pages, building out pages, maybe building pages for a couple of different niches and doing keyword research and all the stuff so that when you do get that, so boom, the second my Microsoft account's going, I can fire, like rapid fire, baby. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. Is there a way to turn off the double opt-in? Yeah, there is. I will show you. to the point on IP pools, back in the day, IP pools were God, okay? And so you didn't care about your sending domain and your content to an extent. You still needed to send relevant content or engagement or any of the other stuff that matters nowadays. You just wanted as many contacts. And so, and your sending domain, you know, your reputation. So if your domain is not getting is getting put to the spam folder, it's not getting a lot of clicks and opens, all of a sudden it doesn't matter what IP pool you're on, you're just not getting into Gmail anyways. So for me, if you think you have a highly engaged list or you want to take the risk, you can turn it off. I think definitely long term, after you have a few hundred leads, you should turn it off. And I did talk about that in the training. But in the beginning, I think it's and let's say I wanted to make support at, okay, and create it. And just like that, now I have support at, okay, and I can check the email there and we can, you know, do the same stuff. All right, boom. Okay. So you can get another inbox right there, just like that. To see that this is all part of the same flow. But if you created a new flow, like you have flow up here, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you were doing, I don't know, for some reason you had another flow or blog post and you were using the same content, that's not good. But but in the same flow, it's totally fine. I'll take like a few more questions here and then we'll call it a day, maybe at 4:45 here. The Shopify. I build a click funding landing page. This guy's going to charge you, I mean, Canadian dollars, but he's $100. I will do if you give them a bit of training and stuff. It's good idea for people that are struggling out there, like, you know, maybe not as technical as you want to be while you're learning it, you know, and if you yeah. Somebody's saying SSL doesn't work for mobile. Let me just double check that on my side of things. Survey locator, USA.com. Want to bombard the 123 profit people. So if you're having like float hosting domain issue or something, or the webmail, or you're not seeing an SSL, float hosting is completely separate from float. Everybody time, because what happens if you open up through 123 profit is then 123 profit has to reach out to flow, and then there's a time delay, right? So I'm not trying to like pass the buck. I'm just trying to like speed up. Because if something goes wrong, you can always hit them up. Like I have one, her name is Destiny. I'd be like, Destiny, you know, I had an issue. It happened to me before. Hey man, all my ads got disapproved. What the heck? I got you. And like an hour later, she's like, I got paid to make you money, right? Not to say I'm better than them. They are definitely smart, but our agendas are different, right? So sure, if they have questions on like, hey, I noticed your opt-in rate's a little lower, and I was thinking if you like change your headline here, that could help. That's wonderful, you know. But if they're like, hey, if you add like 100 more keywords, you'll spend $1,000. Like, don't listen to that. Or you upped your bids, you'll spend more money. That's their job, is to get you to spend more money. So take what they say with a grain of salt. Great question there. Well, I'm at the last one. I might have missed some of these questions, and I'm really sorry, but can I similarly use a virtual assistant on Max Bounty or ask for their permission to use their account? You can. I'm not, maybe I don't know the use case. Maybe if you want to have somebody like research offers, I suppose that would probably be the use case, I would imagine, or place pixels or whatever and fill out these forms. Yeah, totally. The one thing that might happen sometimes when you go to log in, or somebody logs in from like a different location, is Max Bounty might ask them for a verification code. So you might want to create an email inbox or something that both of you can have access to, so that they don't hassle you for the inbox code. Because I use my virtual assistant to log into Max Bounty to like track revenue by the day. And what I don't want to have it happen is her like messaging me every day to say, hey, I got locked out of the Max Bounty account. Can you like help me? So I just created an email inbox that we both share specific to Max Bounty. So if she ever like can't get in, she just sends a code to herself and then she can figure that out. Okay. Okay, guys, tomorrow we're back at 1 p.m. Eastern, module 5. We will be covering Google ads by popular demand. It was going to be a SendPad week, but we think it will be better spent on, there'll be some SendPad stuff, don't worry. But it was going to be like a whole week on email. We're going to actually shift focus there and go more into Google, help out some people that might be struggling on Microsoft or want to move a little faster, or maybe some people that unfortunately, the handful that did have some suspensions, getting them on a different platform. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. Okay. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Bye now.